Favorite kind of cars?
Oh, right now, any car would be a favorite car. I don't know. I don't even know what I would do if I had money for a fucking car. I'd probably end up buying some fucking van. Just so I had room for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We always talk.
I want Repco to call me so they can fucking direct me.
We always talk movies, man. Like, if you had to sum up, like, who the best actors were in the '80s, who would you say?
No, I can't remember that I was watching too many movies in the '80s.
Yeah.
It was like a.
What about
It
'70s?
was like a time when I didn't have cable. You know, you needed cable to watch movies by then.
Yeah.
Especially like newer movies or something like that. But the '80s, you know, '80s were pretty much like old teenager movies and fucking horror movies.
Well, you got, like, you know, Arnold and Sylvester Stallone and shit. Rambo.
Well, I'm saying, you know,
That might have been '90s.
action movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any heartthrobs? Any fucking the actresses?
I don't know.
Divas? Whatever the fuck.
I don't know that I really look at. I'm not like that where I'm like they used to
Celebrity
sell,
crushes.
like they used to sell. They used to sell posters of. Who was that one that was on Charlie Angels? Who went crazy?
What, the new shit or the old shit?
No, the old one.
Okay, I don't know.
Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett. She went fucking nuts. She used the wrong makeup. Fucking gave her brain damage.
Why do you think a lot of these celebrities like kind of have like mental breakdowns, shit like that? You know, Britney Spears had a mental breakdown. You know, like what's up with all this?
Britney Spears being kept a fucking economic prisoner for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, that's coming out now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that make you fucking pissed off?
Economic prisoner. Yeah, like she couldn't touch her funds, right?
She couldn't do what she wants to do. And maybe she wanted to be like Paris Hilton. You know, she wanted to climb a flagpole and put the fucking ball in her pussy. You know, who fucking knows? In public, right? Wasn't Britney Spears is a great performer. You can't take anything away from these kids.
Yeah,
Okay?
she's another childhood star, like we were talking about with some of these other guys.
You know, and she was trained from the very beginning when she was like, what was she, 15 years old?
I think she was younger than that. I think she was.
She was on fucking stage dressing almost nothing.
I think they were
touching herself and
Mickey
humping.
or Disney or...
Yeah, Mickey Mouse Club. Her and Justin
Right,
Timberlake.
Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
Club. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so in my day, Mickey Mouse Club, the one everybody liked in Mickey Mouse Club when I was a kid was Annette Funicello. Okay, and the reason everybody liked Annette Funicello, not that she was all that pretty, but Annette had a pair of tits at 15 like this.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
She was a big actress, huh?
No,
No.
she's just big titties. Just big titties.
But how do you like? Because I don't know who she is, so I don't know what I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right, you don't know who she is. Okay, did you ever see any of the beach movies?
I don't know.
You know those beach movies?
What, Leonardo DiCaprio?
50s?
No.
What about Lola Falana? Did you like her?
Oh wow, Lola Falana. She was like a big hit. She was big for like 2 years, maybe a little longer than that in the disco days.
I gotta check everything out.
What was that like? The disco days?
Boring. Boring for someone who doesn't dance.
Yeah.
Like if I went to a disco, I was just bombarded with loud music and cheap drinks.
And party and
So
shit.
I didn't go.
Maybe kind of like the techno parties nowadays, something like that.
I have no idea what a techno party is, so.
The EDM shit.
Why, when the computer's playing the music off of
DJs.
Oh man, that's the worst. I saw those in fucking California. And the guy sets up the computer, puts it in the middle of the room, and everybody sits in front of the computer like this.
Yeah, this whole thing has
Really?
this whole thing's gotten a little weird, man.
And then praise the guy who wrote the algorithm that the computer is playing. Down.
Did you like Paul Newman and Kohan Luke?
Yeah, that's one of his most famous roles.
I'm Paul Newman fan.
Know you?
I saw
This
it
black
was-
got me into him.
Adam Carolla likes him. Buys his race cars. I got so.
Adam Carolla does what?
He loves. He buys Paul Newman race cars.
Oh well, yeah, he's got the fucking money, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You know, imagine how that happened. Wow.
Adam Carolla, huh?
Yeah.
He's
He
just
went-
been talking for
He
you know.
went from
I grew
being
up
like
with him.
a
Yeah.
he went from being like a guy who did commentating on a TV show
Yeah, with Dr. Drew.
up into all the way up into this this savior of the drug culture.
Really?
And yeah, well, they linked with Dr. Drew, aren't they both
He
like
didn't, I don't think he got famous till he's 30. He's like Bill Withers. Like he was a worker, I think. I don't know.
the work?
I don't know.
What do you mean? He's like the comic
9 to
man?
5 guy.
Maybe. I don't know. I will
I
not
mean,
there.
they had that show. What was the show with the guy who drank the fucking
Man
gallon?
show.
Huh?
The Man Show.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good thing. That was a good thing. Girls on trampoline.
You like Conan, right?
Love Coco.
Yeah.
Who?
Conan?
Conan?
Conan O'Brien?
Yes.
Oh, Conan.
I said it wrong, Conan. Conan, K-Dog.
Got me through a couple years of my life. Loved him. Yeah. Love him.
He's a funny motherfucker.
Dude.
And Andy?
Conan O'Brien is quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
dude.
is the alpha omega of comedy.
I
He's
bumped into him in the street one time.
Yeah. He's tall, right?
Yeah, he's a fucking he's tall.
Was he like 6'8"?
Tall. No, he's not quite that, but he's tall.
Yeah.
And then he's got the fucking hair thing. You know, he's got like a lot of body in it.
You say he's got some height in the hair?
Huh?
The height adds on to his hair adds on to the height.
His hair stands up that high.
What do you think about like James Brown's contribution to the music world?
I like James.
I mean, he like reinvented himself a couple times, right? Like he elongated the run, went from Godfather Soul into something else, right?
Well, he came out, you know, he came out as a certain thing, and it was a review. He came out at the time when you did your song. You came out, you did your song, and you got off the stage. Okay, it wasn't like a concert where you came out and you did 12, 15 songs. Because he was included in those things like the Alan Freed thing and those sock hops and shit like that on a different circuit, with a black circuit. But it was still doing the same thing, which is like rock and roll, but you know. And you know, he was you know, you can give James Brown, James Brown is the guy who, if he didn't say it himself, he's the guy who they said, that guy's got soul. You know, there were a lot of those guys. And that
Yeah.
when that rhythm and blues music turned into soul music, it was a great period.
How did it go from soul to funk?
Oh, it just got fancier. It was when guys who could really play, not that the guys who did soul couldn't play, but so funk exhibits the
Musicality.
more than the vocal.
Yeah. I got you.
Like with James Brown had
Up tempo kind of thing.
had that balance of extremely great players along with an extremely great writer and singer
Yeah. Yeah. Performance.
and performer.
Yeah. Top notch.
Everything he did, he invented.
Right.
His dance steps, the music, the what else? His hairstyle, the clothes. He designed his own clothes from the 50s all the way up into the 90s.
So then where does like P-Funk come into all that?
Oh, I don't think they're hooked together.
No, but like, you know, just for the funk, like
Oh, I don't know. I thought P-Funk, they probably before.
they came out late 60s.
Yeah.
See, I should talk to Clip about this
early
shit.
70s, like bands like that would have been influenced by Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, like Hendrix and shit.
Right, yeah, by Hendrix. But
Tower
you gotta
of Power?
remember,
Power, I love 'em.
those bands were also influenced by bands that Hendrix was in. Okay?
Yeah, like some Sam or Little Richard, shit like
Wasn't he
that.
like Sam Cooke, guitar player or something?
I know he cited them as an influence.
No, he was.
Little
Little
Richard.
He was in Little Richard
Yes.
for a little while.
And Isley's.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the who?
Isley Brothers.
And the Isley Brothers. That's basically his background.
Isley Brothers still doing it?
That's who Clip says is like the most influential band of all time.
Isley.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, right?
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, I know like
Kelly O'Kelly. That's his
I've been to
first name.
Cincinnati, dude. Cincinnati's almost like Philly in the sense where it's like the whites are racist and the blacks got their thing. It's kind of weird, like.
It's like West Virginians go there to have a city. Like Cincinnati is it's close to.
I shouldn't say that, but it is. I mean, it's like I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Cause it's not like that in Philly, but it is. You know. No, I don't know. I guess like because I'm a hip hop dude, I think about George Clinton just as often as I think about James Brown. But I know James is on another level of not only innovation, but what would you call it, greatness or something?
Well, you know, James Brown took the one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was on 2 and 4. He took the one. So funk is on the one too. So you know, reggae's on the one.
James is on the backbeat like reggae, right?
Right.
And you were fireable in his band. If you didn't perform,
Yeah.
you're fucking out.
Right.
Oh no, I've seen the thing in James
He'd
Brown.
fine you if you hit a wrong note.
I saw a. He'd fine you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, you over.
I saw this one special
He's
of
nuts.
James Brown. This was on PBS. It was just a special on soul in general. But they had this shot of them, and they show the front of the stage, and James Brown's dancing, he's singing, and the band is playing. And then there's a shot from behind the band, right? And you see back of James Brown going like this. All of a sudden, James Brown goes, he spins around a little bit, and he points, and he goes, "Gotcha!" And he said, and the guy who's narrating says, at this point, James Brown just fined somebody for hitting the wrong note. And that's what he was doing. He was pointing at the guy who hit the wrong note, and said, "I got you."
He caught him.
Caught him.
Wow. It's like a game or something like.
It was like a game. But there's a guy in this town. He used to open bathrooms in the morning. He's a retired jazz player. He plays bass, and he played for the Killer, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, I saw him, man.
Yeah, Jerry Lee abandoned him in Australia.
Wow.
Just left him.
Damn. That's
Jerry
so
Lee,
fucked up.
Jerry Lee shot one of his band members in the lake.
Yeah. I saw him at Farm Aid 2005, Philly or Camden. It was him, Neil Young, Mellencamp, and Dave Matthews solo.
All on stage together?
Like they played back to back.
Oh.
But I think they jammed too.
Oh my God.
But Jerry Lee stole the show. You know, I mean Neil's always good. Or
Jerry Lee steals the show. How old was he at the time? Maybe 75.
oh, he's 80 at least.
80.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Like they had to walk him out.
They had to walk him out.
Yeah.
And once he got to the piano, it was like
Fucking ripping, bro.
It ripped him off.
Ripped the whole place down.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
He was playing with his fucking foot.
to really see that rock and roll shit. You know, I've seen a lot of concerts. I've seen Paul McCartney, Jeff Beck, all kinds of people. To see a real rock and roll motherfucker.
That's the old time rock and roller.
Yeah.
That's like Jerry, not Jerry Lee.
I seen the Stones and it wasn't even like that.
Elvis.
No, well, Elvis, towards the end, even when he was a fat Elvis, he was still giving a good show.
I heard he used to shoot the TV. Is that true?
Huh?
I heard Elvis used to shoot his TV.
There is that story.
Really?
There is that story.
He would pull a gun on his TV and shoot
I
it?
forget why he did it. So I think the legend is he was watching the Beatles or something.
What, he was upset that they were out staging him or something?
I have no idea. There's some story that surrounds that why he shot the TV. There's that famous picture of him with Nixon shaking his hand. Nixon is giving him the gold badge of Special Investigator of the FBI. Right? So, and
I think that says it all, man. How they try to influence fucking pop culture.
And at the time, he was on like 14 different fucking drugs. You know. what eventually killed him was all the interactions of the different fucking mood stabilizers and shit he was taking. Plus like 40 pounds of shit in his fucking colon.
I've been to Graceland, you know.
Have you?
Yeah, it was interesting, man. You know,
Beautiful fucking place he built.
all them cars, dude. That was the best part.
See, the thing that was nice about Elvis, and you know, you could like him, you not like him, but I mean, he's not like really my cup of tea. I understand what he is, you know, I still get a thrill out of hearing him, but like the first thing he did, as he got money in his pocket, when he hit, the first thing he did was bought his mother a house and a Cadillac.
Yeah, he used to give cars away on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, but all right. Now this is like the ultimate question, Perry, is how did when white people started playing rock and roll, and they took the blues and made all this money off of it? How did that all go down? Because people are still talking about that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, it's you know, the thing that is rock and roll pretty much started in the mid-40s with the black crowd. That idea of boogie woogie, eight to the bar, comes out of the swing era, and it's boogie woogie.
Yeah.
That's eight to the bar, right? No. But that comes out of that, then it simplifies, and it simplifies to portable bar, you know, 4/4 signature. But even swing isn't 4/4, most of it. Yeah. But the idea of what changes is the size of the orchestra, the instrumentation through electrification, and the idea of a front man and a band. Now, in the 40s during swing, there was the band, and the individual players were the front men, or the guy who ran the band. And then they started this thing where, like, you know, they would get 3 women singers, like the Lemon Sisters would sing, you know, and they would sing a song, or half a dozen songs. But then it turns to this big band with singers jumping in and out.
Yeah.
Songs, you know.
But I guess, like, you know, was it basically just like, okay, we're influenced by this music and now this music is selling? Or was it like, no, like, we're going to take this and make it our own? Like, how did it all go down? Just the evolution of music?
There's a lot of music that you never hear because it's considered failures in the direction. You know what I mean? So what they did was they saw black people were buying a certain kind of music, white people were buying a certain kind of music. And at the time, the two really didn't mix much.
Yeah.
Unless on a local level.
Wow.
Right? And you know, some places were a little like, you know, hey, those black kids, they can dance on that side of the dance floor. They're good, you know. And
like they didn't respect the music?
no, the music was almost the same. The difference was like some of the performers in the black thing were a little more outre than the performers in the white band.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, my friend Little Joe Cook, who had a hit called Peanuts in the 50s, he was from Boston, and he had a job writing music for Columbia, right? And you know, he got paid a weekly salary to write music, and that music was given when he wrote a song and they figured it was a good song to put on the album. They would take that song and they would put it on a white group's album, and they would put it on a black group's album. Same song, done differently by the two groups.
Yeah.
Who started stacking crossover first?
Right.
Who's the biggest crossover? Like,
Oh, I don't know.
Elvis?
Now, crossover, you gotta remember, like, back in the day, like, Frank Sinatra could sing a song about one thing and then another thing and then another thing and then another thing.
Yeah.
So like that sort of crossover.
They were experimenting a lot.
But you know, it used to be like you say, like, you know, country western was an unmistakable sound.
Yeah.
You know, bluegrass is still an unmistakable sound.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything is fusion,
Right.
and it's been that way for a long time because you hear stuff like the Who has a bluegrass thing on Tweezebox,
Yeah.
where the
Kind of like music is music.
right, yeah, you know, it's pick and choose. The Beatles were George Martin when they went to Abbey Road, which was EMI's big studio. You know, they had been using that studio, but then George Martin one day opened up a door, and in there was all the symphonic instruments, and the Beatles were like, well, what if we use this horn right here? And wow, these cellos would sound good. And George Martin would say, well, I've written a cello part for that song Strawberry Fields. And they would say, oh, let's hear that, you know. And that's how the Beatles sort of like expanded. Or George Martin, of course, that brain. But, you know, that's how they expanded, where they were introduced to these instruments. And like, you know, going to India and being introduced. Now, English people knew very well what Indian music was. You know, George Harrison himself had grown up going to get tandoori chicken.
Really? I didn't know that.
Every place in England you can go, there's a place
Get out of here.
that'll serve Indian food.
Wow.
Very popular in England.
Crown jewel.
Because India was their colonial you know, place, right?
Wow.
So when he went in to those things in like 61, 59, when he went into those stores had raga music playing.
Wow. I never heard him say that.
Well, he wouldn't have to say it because I know how it was.
You just know how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
knew how it was then.
Wow,
Right,
dude.
So, you know, and then the thing that led them to India was this idea of all you need is love, and they saw that in India, with the history of Gandhi, with the non-violence and all of that, and India, even though it's super crowded, is very respectful to each other. There are riots and things go on wrong, the Muslims against the Hindus, but in general, it's a very peaceful place and a beautiful place. So they got out there, and when they got out there, well, you know, George Harrison is a guitar player.
What part of India did they go to?
You know, I think they did a tour around,
Yeah.
you know, did a tour around. But, and then the Maharishi, they were hanging out there for a while. They invited a whole bunch of people from England to come, you know, and like the Maharishi was like, oh, look at all this white pussy around me.
Yeah.
You know, I got to get some. He tried to rape Marianne Faithfull, so then they were like, wow, really? Like
Is that the
came here-
Maharishi Express train?
Like we came-
Maharishi?
No, that's the Marrakesh Express.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Marrakesh is a town, it's a city.
Right.
I think not Tibet, but what's the other one right near it? Another mountain area like that.
Sexy Sadie, you made a fool of everyone. That's the, you know, that's just about that.
Right,
Yeah.
right, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's the song written on that. That White Album is an interesting album.
That's a good fucking song too, dude.
I was listening. Let me tell you something, okay? So when that album was done, I hate to say this, Ringo was pretty drunk, and he was not playing up to Paul.
Yeah, Paul playing.
Paul played some.
Talk about the
and
White Album.
Paul played on his own song. But the guy who really played was Jim Kelly.
Mm.
He's the guy on, I think, Dear Prudence. You ever hear Dear Prudence?
Yeah, I love that song, dude.
So listen to the end of Dear Prudence where it goes into the ostinato. Down, 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 down. And the drummer is just going. da, 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 da. He's doing all that shit in the background. Really fucking crazy good drumming.
This is what I heard about that song. Is I heard that was McCartney on drums, but I can't tell you that that's 100% accurate. But that's the word.
I don't think Prudence was written by him. I think Prudence is Lennon.
Well, Lennon sings it definitely, but I'm saying drums.
Whoever sings it. Oh, you think it was McCartney?
That's the word on the street.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if that's 100% accurate.
Played a lot of drums on that album. He's the guy on. He's the guy on Back in the USSR. He's the guy on Glass Onion, I think.
Oh, I love that song, man.
That's a Harrison song, if I'm not wrong, right?
Well, Lennon sings it.
Well, then if he sings it, it's Lennon's song.
Yeah. I always got that vibe from anything that Lennon sang that
No,
he wrote
that's
it.
the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Who sings the song is the guy who wrote
Yeah.
most of the song.
Yeah.
No, even
Who sings the lead? Yeah.
Even though they wrote together,
Right.
what they would do is they would write stuff like you're writing stuff,
Yeah.
right? And then they would look at each other's like daily notes and say, "What's this here?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, you know, I saw this the other day and wrote about it." I said, "Well, you know, I got this little piece. Maybe we could put these two together."
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how Day in a Life gets put together, right? Where you hear Lennon start
Different
singing
songs
it.
together kind of thing.
Right, Lennon starts singing it, and then McCartney is the guy that sings the part that goes, "Woke up, get
Yeah.
out of bed,
Yeah.
drag home, cross my
Yeah.
head," you know?
And then it just gets stripped out.
Yeah, right. And then it gets flipped out.
I always thought that was maybe, that like In My Life, those are like the masterpieces of what, at least to me, those are like the best. And
So many good fucking people.
anything Lennon did was good back then.
The like the Beatles would hit what you would call a renaissance when they came out with which came out first, Rubber Soul, then Revolver, right?
Yeah.
Right. So Rubber Soul was the song that sent them a little psychedelic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
Revolver was pretty psychedelic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great fucking songs on Revolver. Taxman, Rain,
Yeah. Well,
Good Day Sunshine.
question for you about John's evolution, because like when I see video of John in the early days, he's kind of husky and he's doing almost like a Jerry Lee Lewis or a Chuck Berry kind of thing. And then when he got into like I guess the songwriter stuff or the folkier stuff or the revolutionary stuff, like how did he go from that to that? Was that just the times?
It's the times. We got to remember when you see him. Now, he was not an energetic guy on stage. They did a little bit of running around on stage, but not much. John,
Right.
The favorite pose of John is
They're energetic singers, though.
standing up. He's standing up in front of the microphone.
Yeah.
He got the guitar and
Doing
he's
this
playing.
shit.
Right, but if you look at his feet are like this.
Right. His knees are moving, but not his feet.
Right. No, his feet are out
Yeah.
like that. That's the favorite pose. Standing up, playing guitar like that.
Yeah.
And then Paul and George at the mic on the right. Right? Paul always in the middle and George on the edge.
Yeah. But yeah, not just so we don't go completely towards the direction of white music. Like, why is it that this music came from African American people and then turned into something else that has gone on for so long?
Again, the white man steals from the black man.
It's just that? Is that
Pretty
simple?
much just that, yeah.
Wow.
You got to remember too, like so. While we were here with Jim Crow, and if you caught your teenager listening to Little Richard, you could smack him in the head and take his radio away. In England,
I was listening to all that gangster rap shit.
in England, the Beatles were already imitating those guys.
Yeah.
So that's how you get the Beatles doing all of those soul tunes.
Yeah.
and doing all the girl group tunes. The reason for that is because I had 2 tenors in the band. When you got 2 tenors in the band, you can sing higher notes. You know? 3 tenors, really, with George. George is high note.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Yeah, do you know when they're starting?
I don't know. I just showed up because I was on my way from Lake George.
That's cool, yeah.
As far as I know, I thought they
Yeah,
started,
us too, you know?
I thought they started 3, no?
Yeah, the sign up was at 3. What time is it now, Zach? Did you say?
321.
Alright, cool. We still gotta get breakfast, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could probably eat something out here, you know? Yo.
I don't know if they're doing breakfast in there or not. Hey, they're not doing breakfast in there today, right?
Yeah, they doing breakfast?
Oh, no.
It's like 3:30 there.
A little late on that one. Yeah, it's
Yeah, what time-
Saturdays, Sundays.
Is it going on inside today?
Not unless it starts downpouring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I see people
Even
on
like
stage
passing
right now.
showers and stuff, we're gonna try to keep everything outside. But
Okay.
If it's like a washout kind of situation, then they will. But
Gotcha.
It's looking like it's gonna hold out pretty good.
Okay, cool. Word. All right, well, Perry, I don't really have anything else to ask you, man. If I could think of something, you know. Well, all right. We'll end it like this. What do you think of the information age?
Stay away from it. I get my information out of books like I used to. If I had a computer, that's probably what I would be doing on a computer. Is just, coming up with a thought and going, oh, okay, so let's see how that happens. And find out a history. The trouble with the way the internet is now is there's a lot of tampering, where you want to find something out and the internet doesn't like the idea, you want to find this out.
Yeah.
So they either delete you or they delete the information.
Yeah.
So you never can find the information.
It's strange how we're living in a culture where there's so much death, and with the internet, you can just like delete something or look away from something or close out something, and it's like I feel almost desensitized to death
Well,
at this
isn't
point.
that everybody's? Then they've made movies about this as well,
Yeah.
where the
You know what I'm saying by that?
the powers that be,
Desensitized to it?
the powers that be, delete a guy,
Right.
right? And now, he's got no bank account.
Right.
His cards don't work. He goes to his house, puts the key in, the lock is changed. So now
Right.
when
Locked out of your own house kind of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, that mixed with the gentrification, and then it kind of seems like everything's all about land anymore. Or it always was it?
Capitalism started in the day when land was everything.
Yeah.
Okay, it started in the days when there was kings and popery and things like this, where, again, I'm having to be reading just in the right thing, with the Middle Ages and stuff, because that's when all of that is switching around. Like, there is no Denmark, really, no Danish, it's Zealand, it hadn't been invented yet. The Netherlands is owned by Spain.
It's like when one business closes, another one opens, but it's countries,
Pretty much.
right?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine the Holland and the Netherlands being owned by Spain, right?
Yeah,
Well, this was called Turtle Island, right? Or something like that?
That's what the natives called this island.
Turtle Island, right?
Yeah. And it's interesting that they
Island.
understand it's an island.
Right.
Okay, it's a continent, but it's surrounded on every side by water, and that
Yeah.
essentially makes it an island.
Man, what a civilization that must have been, man.
What, the American Indian?
Yeah.
American Indian was a Stone Age. Stone Age. See, they got to a point where they were living in harmony, and didn't have to progress any further than that at that moment. And unfortunately, the Europeans, who were 2 millennia ahead of them, showed up. Now, I wonder what would have happened if they had been given enough time to develop whatever they were going to develop here.
That's dose, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we grew up playing in the woods like, you know, normal kids, and you get something from all that. And it's definitely indigenous, whether it's a native thing or a black thing or whatever
It's
it
a
is.
human thing.
Yeah, human thing.
Humans have, you know,
What's up, dose, man?
There's a racial memory of,
He walked right in it.
there's a racial memory of
You have a
humans.
Birkenstock in your car, my shoe.
Wait, hold on one sec, dose, man.
There's a racial memory of the human being doing things in woods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being in the woods as a kid, the thing about being in the woods as a kid when you were a kid was, yeah, there weren't like 42 different woodland animals that eat you.
Right. Right. We all we had was
So,
deer, pretty much.
You know, this is why you know, people who are living in a primitive situation, even in Alaska now, I mean, there's still animals there. If your kid wanders off in the woods, there's something in there to kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it be like you know, a cat,
Some kind of a fucking
bear,
ferocious animal.
a bear, some ferocious animal
Yeah.
would be there. You know. You
I
know.
don't want your money. I was just
And,
want to offer the goodness.
You know, so you didn't guys, we didn't have to deal with that too. I was lucky. The Bronx, when I grew up in the Bronx, the Bronx actually had some woods. Okay, not only the Bronx Park, which at the time it was a park,
Yeah.
but there were areas that were left to go wild where you
Yeah.
could go in, and a lot of empty lots
I like that guitar too.
that nobody went in but the
Drive-
kids.
drop people off
Yeah.
at the
You know,
corner.
or somebody
You have to
went in
drive
there
home
once
in
a
the
once in a while
You
and
wanna
dumped
make
some
room in the
garbage
back
in.
seat for
Yeah.
the hitchhikers. Drop the guitar at the corner.
All right. Well,